Professor Wolff Executive Summary, The Core Problem, Simplified. New Zealand is facing a severe economic crisis not because of a single event, but due to a perfect storm of deep-seated structural weaknesses. The country's historical economic model, reliant on raw commodity exports and property speculation, is failing. This has triggered a brain drain of skilled citizens, creating a vicious cycle that threatens long-term stagnation and the end of its egalitarian paradise image. The most visible symptom, a catastrophic brain drain. This is the immediate crisis signaling a loss of faith in the country's future. Unprecedented scale. A record 128,700 people left in 2024, the largest exodus ever. On a per capita basis, this rivals emigration from some conflict zones, hollowing out the nation. Over 10% of the New Zealand-born population, 600,000 people, now lives in Australia. The wrong people are leaving. It's no longer just young adventurers, mid-career professionals and retirees, the stable bedrock of the economy and community, are leaving permanently. The brain drain effect. The country is losing its most valuable asset, skilled workers like engineers, scientists, doctors, and entrepreneurs. This creates a vicious cycle. Their departure weakens the economy, which prompts more skilled people to leave. Why is this happening? The pull of Australia. Higher wages. Pay is 26% higher on average and can be up to 200% higher in certain fields. Better career opportunities. Australia's larger, more diverse economy offers more specialized, high-level jobs that simply don't exist in New Zealand. Seamless transition. The Trans-Tasman travel agreement allows for easy movement, with no culture shock or visa hurdles. The root cause, a weak, undiversified economic base. The brain drain is a symptom of the economy's failure to create high-value opportunities, over-reliance on raw commodities. The economy is dangerously narrow. 60% of exports are from a few primary products. Dairy alone makes up 25% of all goods exports. The value problem. New Zealand often exports raw materials, e.g. logs, and outsources the high-value processing, e.g. turning them into furniture, to other countries, along with the better jobs and profits. Three major risks of this model. Market exposure, heavy dependence on single markets, e.g. 26% of dairy goes to China, making the economy vulnerable to geopolitical or demand shocks. Environmental limits. Intensive farming is hitting environmental ceilings, water pollution, soil degradation. Climate volatility. An agriculture-based economy is highly vulnerable to droughts, storms, and warming seas. The domestic crisis, the housing trap. The economy is overly focused on non-productive property speculation instead of innovation. An unproductive economy. An estimated 17 to 50% of the economy is tied to real estate buying, selling, and building houses rather than producing exportable goods or services. Catastrophic unaffordability. The median house costs 8.8 times the median household income. The OECD affordable benchmark is 3x. This locks younger generations out of wealth creation. Massive misallocation of capital. Why invest in a risky startup when property gains are guaranteed? This starves innovative sectors of investment. Immediate danger. The mortgage cliff. Many who bought at ultra-low 3% interest rates are now facing rates of 6% or higher, potentially doubling their payments and triggering a consumer spending crash and defaults. The core failure, chronic lack of productivity and innovation. This is the fundamental reason wages are stagnant and people leave. Productivity is stagnant. Labor productivity grew at 0.3% per year 2012-2022 versus 1.5% in the rest of the OECD. Severe underinvestment in R&D. New Zealand spends 1.4% of GDP on R&D, which is nearly half the OECD average, 2.7%. This strategic failure means the country falls behind in new technologies and industries. Low economic complexity. New Zealand ranks 50th in the world in the Economic Complexity Index, confirming it exports simple, unprocessed goods compared to advanced economies. The career ceiling. Ambitious professionals, software engineers, researchers, inevitably hit a point where the high-level opportunities they seek do not exist in New Zealand, forcing them to leave as a professional necessity. Policy mistakes and looming fiscal time bombs. Recent decisions and future pressures are making a bad situation worse. Policy whiplash. The government's COVID response, massive stimulus, overheated the economy. The Reserve Bank's subsequent aggressive interest rate hikes were designed to cause a recession, creating instability and eroding confidence. Result. By the end of 2024, New Zealand was ranked the worst-performing developed economy in the world. Demographic time bomb. Aging population. The over 65 population is rising, increasing pension costs. Shrinking tax base. The brain drain and low fertility mean fewer workers are supporting more retirees. Health crisis. High obesity and mental health issues will add billions in future healthcare costs. Crumbling infrastructure. The infrastructure deficit is estimated at a staggering $400 billion. Conclusion. The critical choice. New Zealand is at a crossroads. It risks becoming a beautiful but economically hollowed-out retirement destination for the wealthy, while its own citizens build futures abroad. The path forward requires a fundamental reinvention. Pivot from an economy based on commodities and housing to one based on innovation and high-value industries. Invest aggressively in R&D, productivity, and infrastructure. Create the sophisticated, high-paying jobs that will convince talent to stay and attract back some of the diaspora. The window for change is still open, but it is closing. The future depends on whether the country has the political will to undertake these difficult reforms.